You're listening to the Moody Mommies podcast.
Audio warning. You may or may not hear kids screaming and yelling in the background, or us screaming or yelling at them to keep it together.
Hey guys, it's time to get moody. I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Jessica.
And today we have two guests. They are the owners of MILF University. And what are we going to talk about today, Jess?
So we're going to be talking about their athleisure wear. They are a brand that supports women being moms, being who you are, no matter what. And this is a husband and wife duo who started this company together, and they are so sweet. You guys are going to love them. We talk about, what it's like being married to the person that you're working with, and about being raised with sisters and having moms that are entrepreneurs and being an entrepreneur yourself. And it was just a really sweet conversation, and I totally back this couple. I think you guys will too. So listen in and enjoy.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Nancy.
Hi. Yes, this is Nancy. Hi, how are you guys?
Hi, good.
Good. How are you?
Hi, my name is Eric. How's it going?
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Eric. How are you guys?
We're good. We're just trying to manage 3 kids and run a business and do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we hear
I actually have my 8-month-old in my arms right now. She's sleeping.
Oh my gosh.
The struggle is always so real, huh?
Yes, and I'm also nursing her while we're talking, so hopefully she'll be quiet.
We know that life. Don't worry if she's not.
Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully she won't be too loud. But yeah, we have our 2 older ones upstairs. We have a 7-year-old and a she's almost 4, another 4-year-old daughter. So we have 3 kids.
7, 4, and 8 months.
Yes.
Yep.
So much fun.
It's a circus.
You
It
guys,
is actually really fun.
And it's expensive, too.
you guys are,
I'm sure.
you're very bold. I was like super nervous, and I had to be convinced hardcore into having this second one.
Yeah, I mean, originally I came from a big family, so I kind of didn't want to have too many kids. But my wife, she's like, we got to have another one. I'm like, all right, you're the boss.
Well, Nancy, do you have a lot of siblings too, or why did you want to have more kids?
Oh, yes. Well, I have an older sister, and growing up, I was always really close with my sister, and then also my mom, she has a sister that she's really close to. So just being around women and sisters and seeing that bond, I really wanted that for my daughter. So sure that my first one was going to be a girl. But then when I had a boy, I was like, okay, I haven't really been around boys too much, but, I think I can learn to manage.
Mm-hmm.
And then with my second one, I was really like, I really want a girl. So, I ended up having a girl. And then I'm like, you know what? I think I need another one because I'm just that greedy. And I feel like girls, just need to support each other.
Yeah.
And for boys, it's like a different kind of relationship. Like they're okay. They can manage. But I feel like for that emotional support, you need to have a best friend. And, I always had that with, like, my sister and my mom.
Well, you're sort of forced to have a best friend as your sister,
yeah.
right? So I think that's, like, because sometimes girls can be a little mean. I mean, I grew up with 4 sisters. And
I grew up with 2.
Yeah, so I grew up with 4 sisters. And so you can understand real quick how mean other girls can be. And so when you kind of have each other's back like my sisters did, then, you a lot of that stuff that you had to deal with kind of just goes away, And I guess that's sort of the reason why part of the reason why we came up with this brand. It's just to kind of have that motherhood, sisterhood together. And we can go into details about that a little later.
Yeah, of course. That's what we're here to talk about.
So why don't you guys start with how you got started?
Well, I think the brand really is just about, celebrating moms who are unapologetic for having it all, and Nancy can kind of go into that.
Yeah, and for at least for me, I've always had my mom. She's no longer with us, but she was always my role model and someone who I looked up to, and I would always say she's like the OG boss mom because she ran her own business, she had a restaurant, she supported the family, she was a breadwinner, and growing up, she always taught me and my sister, you have to be independent. You have to contribute.
You can't rely on a man.
Yeah, you can't rely on a man.
Was your dad in the picture while you were growing up?
You know what? He was in and out of our life, so he wasn't really a strong figure. So my mom always had this saying growing up. She's like, during the day, I am the dad because I go to work and I make money. And then at nighttime, I come home and, I take care of the kids. I'm there for you guys emotionally. I help you with homework and, being a mom, and I comfort you. So that always stuck with me. And I guess in a way, me and my sister, we grew up, kind of just being independent, working hard. And even, we're both happily married now. She has 3 kids. I have 3 kids. And actually, we're neighbors. So I felt like, it was always my mom's master plan. Yeah, to, keep the family together. Even growing up, we've always been independent, and we knew that. And, just being in relationships, like getting into a relationship and being married, even though we have husbands, we are still have that mindset of like we are still ourselves, even though, we're part of another unit. We want to try to set an example for our daughters because she also has 3 kids and she has 2 daughters. I have 2 daughters. So it's about independence, but also, about that partnership. And, for us, we are really lucky because we found husbands that are very supportive
of strong-willed women.
Yes, exactly.
Women that are the neck of the head.
Yes,
they turn us around where they want us to turn around.
Yes, exactly. And I would have to say that's one of my biggest attractions with with my husband is that he grew up with 4 sisters, and also his mom also ran her own business. So
yeah, so
I feel
my
like,
mom so I grew up by the border of Mexico, and so I have 4 sisters, and at the time, like, my parents had to make money. They really got to make money because they had 6 kids in total.
Oh my gosh.
And so, we had like zapaterias in Mexico, and we had like about 7 of them, and from those 7, a total of more than 50 employees.
Oh my God, that's
so
amazing.
So, my mom, sometimes my dad would travel, and my mom is the one that's overseeing all the shoe stores. And so my mom was just like her mom, just working hard like a man, but coming home and nurturing their kids at night. It's tough, but I give her props, and I really appreciate that. And so I think really this whole brand is really like a love letter to all the strong women that have influenced us as human beings, like me as a dad and as a father, and her as a mom, as a wife. And so this is really just giving us those props, because one of the lines that we say on our About page is, life's greatest achievements don't always come with a diploma, but they do deserve bragging rights. And we're trying to say, hey, as a mom in your journey, there's a lot of milestones that you don't get to celebrate, and we want to celebrate that with you.
That's super sweet.
Yeah, and I also wanted to say, just the acronym itself, people always ask, like, oh, what does it stand for? And, for us, like, we just don't really want to define that for people. It's really about your perspective. It could be, the traditional acronym, or it could be, Mom, I like to follow. For us, I think that the company really, the brand just represents, a state of mind, confidence more than looks itself. And it's just that feeling that you get, like for us, we've been through it. We know what it's like, having a baby and then going through all the changes and the struggles and then just finding yourself again and being comfortable in your own skin. And just, having that bounce back, no matter if it's like a mental thing or a physical thing. For me, just like going through it like 3 times. I feel like each time, I think, Eric suffered through a lot of my my ups and downs and being a very supportive husband.
That's why when we're talking about having a 3rd one, I was like, no.
Yeah, are you sure?
Are you sure about this? I don't know if I can do this again.
I was like, I want to snip it now.
Yeah.
I want to go to the doctor.
I know, now I'm like,
go through that
I
meeting
think I can
and
have
get a
another one.
vasectomy.
I don't know if you guys heard our last episode. My friend's husband, as soon as she got pregnant with her 4th kid, he straight to the
Oh,
clinic.
I know.
Yeah.
Snip,
Well, I'm
snip.
like, you know what? We might. I said, just to even it out, we might have another one.
I was like, oh, Lord.
I mean, at
You
this
better
point,
make that appointment.
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
exactly.
I
But I
better do
think,
it without her knowing, right?
I feel like whenever the guys get a vasectomy, I think the wife should also have a sign off on that too.
Yeah, but I mean,
Definitely.
no, but I think it's my body, my choice.
oh,
Okay?
right. That's
Oh my god.
No,
Not in
I
this
love
family.
me too.
Sound like
Hashtag
my
me too.
husband. When we have this same conversation, that's his thing too.
It's
Like,
mine.
nope, I'm not gonna be like one of those dogs that's just like lazy and that's never the same because
my
they got
gosh.
neutered.
No.
Jay
I mean,
is crazy.
I just it's funny though. Like, in the end, I mean, having a third child, of course you're happy, but
Right.
it's you never know, right? So, but at least for me, the procedure can always be reversed. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Yeah.
We have
But-
we have a cousin who, with his first marriage, after they had their 2 kids, he got a vasectomy, and that marriage kind of ran its course, and he met somebody else a few years later, and she wanted to have her own kids, and so he got it reversed, and now they have twins.
Oh wow,
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
pretty amazing though that could,
Tons of
could
fun.
actually
Yeah. And-
reverse it.
Well, the brand is really just wanting to celebrate it all, and for me, I went through a really, really, really tough time at my life at one point.
Well, I think like both of us
Both of
were-
us went
was
through a
really
really, really
just like
tough time.
struggling and then coming.
So when we
through.
first had our son, we're about to have our son, we just found out that Nancy's mom had cancer, and it was a real struggle, and it was really, really difficult. And then when my son was 6 months, I lost my job. Something happened in my family where it really split us apart.
Well, actually, it was a family business, so that's
Yeah, and so it was really difficult because Nancy had to step up as a breadwinner. And
Well, I
and
still remember the day that when Eric came home and told me like, oh, I don't have a job anymore. I was actually at home with the baby, and my mom and my aunt were over, and then we just looked at each other. We're like, you know what? We're gonna be fine. We got this.
We got
Like
this.
you know,
But-
just having that support system of just my mom and my aunt cheering me on. They're like, you can do it. You can definitely manage without that.
or just like even looking at ourselves as a family, like
Yeah.
we got it, we got this. And Nancy really stepped up. Right before we had our second child, Nancy's mom had passed away, lost her battle with cancer, and just to see my wife just being so strong, having it together as much as she can after having a second kid, I was like, man, I need to give her some mad props.
Well, actually, during that time, so how that happened was I actually got a new job, and I was 8.5, 9 months pregnant when I started my new job.
Oh my god.
And then yes, I know, and I was
they
surprised.
wanted her that much.
Exactly,
That's how
I was
good she is.
surprised
Okay?
that they hired me. So I'm like, are you sure? I'm about to give birth. So, but they were great.
What industry were you working in?
In the tech industry.
Okay.
I mean, her boss said something really cool. He's like, I'm not hiring you for the next year. I'm hiring you for the next 5 years. So we'll take care of it. We
Yeah.
got you.
I'm very grateful, definitely for all of that and all the benefits that they offered. When I started the job, I think I was there for about 2 weeks. And then my mom at the time, she was her final days, and Eric was, really stepping it up and, being at home, not only taking care of our son, but also taking care of my mom. He was like, I think that you probably should just call in your maternity leave and just go out early because I think, mom isn't really going to make it. So did that, and actually 2 weeks before my daughter was born, my mom passed away. So on top of having a new job, having a baby, and then dealing with funeral arrangements, and I have to say, just Eric, he really helped me be my rock, and just because I couldn't deal with all of that.
It's really strange because I think we were each other's rocks. Because like I was saying, I was going through my struggles with my own family. She was going through. She was dealing with the fact that she lost her best friend, and that's crushing. And for us, we were having to deal with the fact our second child is not going to know her grandmother. When she decided to go back to work, and I was just like, man, this girl is slaying. She is working, she's a mom, she's doing it all, and I'm like, I got to give her props. So I was trying to find her a gift online, and all of these mommy wear stuff was so cheesy. I was
Oh
just
my
like,
God.
this is so weird. Like Mama Bear or
Yeah.
like, like that kind of stuff. I was like, something's. So I started talking to my mom, like, what do you think about,
That's so
doing something?
That's so funny.
Like,
Vanessa and I, right before we got on the call with you guys, we were just
Uh-huh.
talking about how some like brands are just super cheesy, and it's just like,
yeah, it's like bun
Yeah.
bun in the oven or like that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, like I think we want to we wanted to create a brand that was fresh, something that was modern, that represented the millennial mom,
Yeah.
and just kind of like loud and proud, and I think that's why like we chose the word MILF, because we're really channeling that confidence that MILF has. When someone, as a mom, if you're considered a MILF, you're just like, oh, okay, I still got it, and that's the thing, is like we want to channel that confidence that, hey, you still got this, baby, like you still got it, and we want to celebrate that. And whatever it means to have it all, it's whatever you define it, that's open to interpretation of what it is. And we celebrate all moms, you adopted your kids, we want to celebrate that. If you have autistic children, we want to celebrate that. If you're a fit mom, let's do it. Like we are here to encourage and celebrate all of those milestones. And being a parent, you don't go to school for it, right? You just kind of like wing it a little bit, and you just kind of like figure it out and hopefully learn from your mistakes. And it's sort of like going to school of hard knocks. And I think that's why we kind of came up with the name MILF University. It's just that, you're not really getting a diploma, but you deserve those bragging rights. You deserve to celebrate and say, hey, I'm a mom, and let's celebrate that. And I think that's sort of the whole concept and the whole idea of it.
Right. And also definitely, with that, it's just thinking about university, it's really just about, I guess, your community and just having that support system. Because, just even with me and my family and just my girlfriends who are all moms, we kind of just get together. We always talk about the struggles and just share our stories.
Act like comadres, that's basically it. Just like all of the, gossip and, talking about old memories and learning from their mistakes that they did in the past. It's fun.
Yeah, and just, not only just talking about the struggles of motherhood, but talking about our own ambitions and what we want to do as women. Being a mom is great. It's amazing. That's not the only thing that defines us.
Right.
We still have our own individuality, our own passion. And so, I think that's what really this brand is here to celebrate that. And just whatever you think is having it all, whatever that means to you, like, go for it.
Yeah. And, you'd be surprised how many supportive husbands or boyfriends that there are. There's so many. Like, we had a pop-up shop.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, I was kind of like seeing eye to eye with these guys. Like, they're like, man, yeah, I want.
We saw a lot of Instagram husbands too.
Yeah, a lot of Instagram. There was one guy who was like turning the camera.
I was like,
and I was like,
you've
damn.
done this before, huh?
I was like-
I like that. And I was like,
I was
Eric,
like-
you need to learn from him.
I know.
That's so funny.
He
Like,
always takes
you gotta
bad
take some tips
angles
from
of
this
me.
guy. Yeah. It's like, get the double chin out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that because, we're talking about having the mom community and stuff. And I don't know, it's harder, I think, to find the dad community. Like, where do they go for
So
support?
it's a good support system for them.
It's I mean, our brand is really just focusing on the mom.
Mhm.
I mean, because I think the mom's journey is very, very special. There's a
Yeah.
definite bond. There's and
I definitely trained him well, guys.
yeah. I mean,
I know, he doesn't even want he doesn't want any
Four
credit.
Sisters, I mean, for us, we're really just focusing. Our brand is really just focusing on the mom's journey, and whatever that journey is.
Yeah.
you
Actually,
know?
we did have a lot of people come and ask us about, what about DILF?
DILF
And,
University.
we should have a limited time or limited edition on that. I was like, you know what? You guys should know better. It's always about the women.
It's like happy wife, happy life.
Exactly. That's what you learn.
Right? No, but I mean, I think for dads, I think they do have a thing. I feel like.
Well, like you specifically, like, do you feel like, other than the women in your life that surround you, do you have like a group of guys that you go to for like
Not really.
fatherhood
I mean,
advice?
what's funny is that something that I learned from my brother is, if you have a lot of really close friends, then you tend to not be really close to your family.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're really, really close to your family, then you tend to not have a lot of friends. And for me, I think I'm really close to my family, that I tend to not have a lot of friends. And I think that's just naturally me. And I don't know if that's a statement that everyone can agree with. But I think for me, it's just like my wife and I, we have a very close relationship. So I feel like I fill that void of having to bond with the guys or something like that, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, just like for us, I feel like I love doing the Moody Mommies because we get to speak to so many different women and hear about their different experiences. And you guys have kids that are older than mine, so I can like watch and see what kind of things can I expect.
It's a different dynamic when you bring the husbands in the conversation. So, I mean, if you ever did other podcasts in the future, it'd be interesting to have more guys in the conversation just to get their perspective.
Yeah, I know.
But
yeah, we did two. We did one with our husbands, and then we did one with these guys from the Dad Project, which was really interesting too. I think it's important for you guys as well, but it's awesome how much you're supporting Nancy and your sisters, and I'm sure Nancy's sister as well. Okay, so let's back up to, you wanted to get her a gift. You saw this, everything was cheesy. And
everything was cheesy. And so the funny thing is, Nancy and I, we always wanted to have our own business, and we just never knew what it was, and there was always like trial and error. But for this one, this really stuck to us. Mm-hmm. And so we started exploring with it and playing around with names. And I think when we both came up with MILF University, we were just like, yeah, this is it. I think people will definitely support this. So it's really just getting our name out there. And when we did our pop-up, it was really like a validation. Like a lot of people were excited. They loved it. And we sold product there. And so it was great. And we made a lot of great contacts from that experience.
How long after you guys had the idea did you guys get the ball rolling?
You know, that was a difficult struggle.
Yeah, I actually, it took a while because it might sound a little crazy, but when we first got married, I think every year we decided to set goals for ourselves. So every year, we would have like individual goals and we would have family goals, and even our kids have goals. It's more something that, I guess something that like my mom instilled in me was to always just keep moving and keep going forward and just always setting high expectations and for yourself.
And have something to look forward to.
And something to look forward to work towards. For me, at least like for us, we always wanted to, start a business. And I feel like this made the most sense because it really brought out where we were in life. And
but I think with any business, it's really hard because like even for you guys, like is finding the right people to work with is so difficult. And then once you have them, you're like, you don't want to let them go, and because you got your groove, right? You got your path. And for us, I think we're still trying to figure that out, which vendors to work with. And
I think that we have a great partnership because with my background, and I'm just more the numbers, financial analytics person, just, based off what I do at work. And Eric has a really great background, more on the creative side and marketing and sales. That's why he's talking a lot. For me, I'm just like the numbers person. So for me, it's more learning how to, I guess, like work on that part of it. But, just with our pop-up shop, just like getting people's reactions and getting that feedback was really great because we actually got to talk to people who are like our customers and just getting
our freshmen. That's what we call our customers.
Our freshmen. Just getting that feedback. And I was like a little worried because are people going to receive this well? But just talking to people and the moms, and they're like, oh yeah, this is great. We always have our mom group.
There was a time when we had the pop up for 5 hours, the credit card machine was down.
I know.
And we're all like, oh snap! And people were willing to pull out cash, borrow money from friends, go to the ATM to buy our product. And I really, really appreciate all those people because that
it just
really
showed like they really believed in this mission.
Yeah, and they really
just affirmed that we're not crazy.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people they work really hard on themselves, and they really work really hard to improve themselves and be the best that they can be, and to be able to wear something to just say, hey, I'm proud, I'm proud what I've done, and to be able to show our school spirit, quote unquote, with MILF University, I think that's really, really awesome.
How often do you guys do pop-up shops?
We did our first one at the Fit Expo, and we're looking to do the next one, which would be in Los Angeles in January of 2020. We're slowly trying to figure it out. We are in talks with other places that we can do pop-ups, but we haven't really confirmed just yet. But people are definitely asked to do another experience or another pop-up. So, and currently we're trying to expand the clothing line as well. So yeah, it's kind of an exciting time, slowly but surely. And I hope, I mean, what do you guys think of the apparel or the site? Or
the site is beautiful. It's like,
oh, thank you.
The clothes look super cozy. I'm just like looking at these crop tops, and I'm like, my stomach is never gonna be fit enough to wear that.
It's okay. Oh no, mine's not there yet either. But whatever you ladies like, let us know.
Yeah, we'll definitely get you some gear and support it for us. But yeah, I mean, I think for us, what's really interesting about this world is that there's a little place for everybody now. Now that we have technology and internet, there's a little place for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
For you guys have your mommy podcast, and I think that's your Moody Mom podcast. And I think that's great. For us, we're trying to celebrate moms who are unapologetic for having it all. And I think it's great that we're living in an age where
you can really be yourself.
You be yourself.
And you find your people.
Yeah, you find your tribe, your squad,
yeah.
Whatever that is. And I think that's something that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I hope that people can find us and just enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
Of it.
I feel like we're definitely still, I mean, we've been working on the podcast for 2 years now, I think. And it's just, we meet all these different moms and try to participate in these different groups, and sometimes it's just not the right fit, where we're just like, these women are not really for us. They don't have the same...
Right. They don't jive with you. Or, this is the chemistry and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's really hard. And then like for us, we're kind of like, I don't know. I want to say fake Mexicans, but we're not. We're just like,
oh, thanks, Jess.
Give us away.
I know. I gave us away.
We were faking it until we made it. Until now.
Until I just spilled the beans that we're fake Mexicans.
No, but see, I love that. It's just like, you are who you are.
Yeah.
You own it.
Yeah.
And, don't apologize for it, I feel like that.
We don't speak Spanish.
Exactly.
And we
it's
totally
like,
own up to it all the time.
I think that's fine. I feel like, no judgment, right? It's like, that's just how, that's you, and that's what makes you special and what you are.
Yeah. And I think, that's why I'm saying there's a place for everybody. You know what I mean? That's what's really interesting about the time that we're living, is that there is a place for everybody. And I think that's great that you're just kind of like, I'm Mexican, but I don't really speak it.
No hablo.
I like sour cream in my tacos. No, I'm just kidding.
I do like sour cream in my tacos.
It's bomb. Sour cream makes everything better.
You know what?
Oh my God,
that was a personal
hilarious.
attack, I think.
I'm just kidding.
I had no
idea.
I'm just kidding.
You know what's so funny? Actually, it's like growing up, I think I used to eat at Taco Bell, and then before I met Eric, I'm like, these are real tacos. These are like hard shell. I thought that was like real Mexican food until I went to his house for the first time ever, and they always had your barbecues.
We always had like carne asada and fresh guacamole and everything.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, this is what real Mexican food is.
You're like, dang, I've been missing out with that Taco Bell
Bell. Like,
stuff.
this is the real stuff.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's not
I didn't know
ground
that.
meat. You know what I mean? It's real meat.
Yeah, and it's like the shell soft.
Yeah.
No,
It has to be double tortilla, or else it's gonna fall apart on you.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
I
she
know,
was
but
like,
it's just-
"Where is the Dorito chip?"
Oh,
or
no.
chocolate? No, I'm just kidding.
Now, like once I have, you can't go back. No.
Dude, I don't take a lot of risks at Taco Bell. I only ever get
Yeah.
bean burritos because they're like
Oh.
because they're like $1. I'm like, help me, I'm poor.
Yeah, we're like, where's
Just
the
give me
where's the
beans.
dollar menu?
Mhm.
Yeah, but like, you know, for you ladies, you know, you're out here, you have your families, you know, you run your own business. How difficult was it for you guys to build it up? You know, do you guys always like work this late at night? You know, like, did you guys ever get a break? You know, how do you balance that?
Well, I guess we're still kind of trying to build it up as we speak because, you know, we're only about how many episodes in and still trying to gain all of our listeners and just kind of spread the word about our existence. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really appreciate the opportunity to just be able just to share our story and
I think that like you, Nancy, like our husbands are super helpful for us.
very.
Yeah.
Yes. That's why we're able to do this. We're like, oh, it's Moody Mommy time. And they're just like, all right, do your thing. Go do your thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's
So,
amazing.
That definitely helps because I really don't think we would be able to do this without them.
Yeah.
I know, and that's why like shout out to the single moms. Like I don't know how
Right?
you do it.
Yeah.
I
Shout
don't
out to
either.
the
There's some
single
true superheroes for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't know how they have it all together. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. When I lost my job and I had to take care of Nancy's mom to go to treatments and my son was 6 months. It was a humbling experience to not have a job and be a stay-at-home dad. It was really humbling, you know, because I was so used to calling the shots. And now I was just like, I don't see any money coming into my bank account. This is really different. I don't understand. I really kind of appreciated people that really stayed home, whether they're dads or moms or whatever that is. Parenting is just a very unique experience. And so to be able to have it all and do it all, like, we give them mad props. And that's the whole idea of it, you know. It's just crazy. And for you guys to be putting your kids to sleep and then talking to us, it's like mad props, you know, the hustle.
Yeah.
And then we
know.
gotta wake up at 6 and go to work tomorrow.
I
Exactly.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's big ups to your side hustle and everything.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
I keep wanting to ask this. How long were you guys together before you had your first kid?
I want to say a year.
Okay. Were you
Was it
guys
a year
already?
after we got married?
I think so. We were together for about 2 years, but I think the difference between us than a lot of other couples is that we saw each other every day.
Mhm.
So it makes the relationship moves a lot quicker, you know, when you see each other every day. Sometimes I'm like, people will just say, oh, I'm going to hang out with my girlfriend on the weekend. I'm like, just the weekend? Like, how do you know this person?
I know.
You know what
I
mean?
trip
Like,
out on people that are in those types of relationships too. I'm like, where is your boyfriend? Where is your girlfriend? Like, because I've always
Right.
been the same. When I met my now husband, when we met, we were with each other every single second from that point on. Like, if he
Yeah.
wasn't at work,
Yeah.
we were with each other. If I wasn't at work, we were with each other. So
Right.
yeah,
it
I
helps
mean,
you grow really fast.
it grows really fast, and then like you kind of like keep him in check. Like, what you doing?
No, well, the funny story is, so we actually, we dated, how long before we got married?
For like
a
about
year?
2 years.
I think we dated for a year, we got engaged, and then we were engaged for a year. So we were like 2 years before we actually got married. But during the time that we were dating, we found out, we met through mutual friends. And I like to stay at a friend's birthday party, but he likes to say we met at a club or at a bar. Yeah, at a bar. But it was a birthday party at a bar.
Nothing.
Okay.
Can't tell that to our kids.
You're both
Can't tell that to our
right.
kids.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's
we did not
true
meet
either
at a
way.
bar. You can't tell our son that we met at a bar.
It took him 5 months before he called and asked me out on a date, even though he had my phone number. You know, my early 20s, I was hanging out with my girlfriends, and we were going out, having fun, meeting a lot of guys. And actually, when Eric ended up calling me, it was on Valentine's Day. And then I met an Eric that week. So when he called, I was like, oh, hi, yeah, I remember, like, you know, Saturday, this, and that. He's like, no, I met you at your friend's birthday. I was like, oh, it's that Eric.
You're like,
So I was like, oh,
It's
why did it
yeah.
take you so long to call? Yeah.
No, I think for me, I was a little scared to call because we had mutual friends, and I feel like if I was gonna do it, it would be like for real. And I just got out of a relationship, so I kind of wanted to have some time to myself. And it's funny because where I used to work, it was a bunch of like male single guys, and so I didn't even know it was Valentine's Day. So when I called her, I was just like, "Hey, how's it going?" and trying to keep in touch. And now that we talk about it, she's like, "Why'd you call me on Valentine's Day?"
I was like, "What a weird guy."
And I was like, "Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know it was Valentine's Day."
Yeah. But so when we were dating, we found out that he actually lived like a few blocks away from me,
which is so
weird. Funny because we didn't grow up in the same where we live. We didn't grow up in the city. We grew up like completely different areas. Because he grew up in Calexico and I grew up in Simi Valley, which is like, you know, the widest area that you can ever be at. So when we started dating, my family and I, we were trying to renovate the house. So we rented another house maybe like 15 minutes away. And then at the time, Eric was like, "You know what? I don't think I can come visit you because you just live too far away." And I was like, "What? 15 minutes away? He wouldn't even come and visit me." I was like, "That's not far." You know, I was like, whatever.
No, but it's cool. Like we did meet with each other like pretty much almost every single day.
Yeah.
And I think that's what built the relationship a lot quicker. So for us, you know, once we got married, we're just like, yeah, let's just have kids now. You know, like our moms are young; they can help us if they wanted to. And I felt really good about that decision because Nancy's most favorite grandchild at the time was my son, and that really brought her a lot of joy and energy because she felt like she had a bond. She felt like she had a bond with him. So I thought that was really, really like touching and cute to be able to do that. So I'm really happy that we had kids as early as we did.
Right. And that's also, you know, another reason why we wanted to create something like a business together. And you're like, life, you just never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we never imagined that, you know, my mom wasn't going to be here. And if you have a dream, just go for it.
Yeah, go for it. Gotta kill it.
Are you guys doing MILF University full time now, or do you guys still have your regular jobs as well?
I still am working, and so is she.
Okay.
But my job's a little bit more flexible. That I'm able to do a lot of handling, like with shipments and some of the creative but she handles a lot of like the Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, like at this stage in our life with having 3 kids, you know, we wanted to take calculated risks, so we just didn't want to give up our day jobs just yet until like we see where this goes.
Yeah, but I feel like, you know, there's a lot of promise in this business right now.
Yeah.
In our company.
Good, that's amazing. So how long has it been now?
It's only been, I mean, we launched on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So
oh my gosh.
It's really
it's brand new.
It's really brand new. Yeah, it's really, really brand new. And so that's why we're just really shocked with the validation of how well people are receiving the brand.
So it's been like quite a few years that this has been like in the works, right? Because you said it was like right.
I mean, I think for us, like we had talked about it, like we got to get all that other stuff out of the way. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we did a lot of research, finding the right vendors, finding the right T-shirt, trademarking the stuff, and going through a lot of like watching a lot of YouTube.
Yeah, right. That's our
you
teacher.
know,
Just asking a lot of questions.
I ask a lot of questions, so that got me a little further than a lot of other people. It's a lot of work just trying to kind of get your foundation.
Yeah, so. I totally know. Like even with just the podcast, it was like, okay, where do I begin? Like, okay,
right.
We need
a. Like, where do I save the file?
Uh-huh.
You know, how do I upload it?
Yeah, you're like.
I know. So for us, it's the same thing for us. Now I need to do a photo shoot, and I need to find models, and who's my photographer, and what size would the models wear, and this and that, and
styling,
and this. Yeah, it was just it's a lot, like because you. And the thing is that like you get so much in your head that you sometimes it stops you from doing it. Right, because you're just like in your head too much.
You're fearful to even try to take the first step because everything's so overwhelming. You're just like, oh, there's too many things to juggle. I don't even want to try. So
and like that's what's crazy about some of these feeds. Like, cause I'm watching how my wife is communicating with these people, and there's so many driven people out there on Instagram, and whether it's fake or not, I don't know. because it looks like they're working out, but I don't know if it's really working out. It's amazing like how driven they are before and after shots, and it's inspiring. So it's like, why not? Why can't we do it? There's a lot of money in this world, so why can't we get a little
chunk of it?
Yeah, and like why can't we be
it's like,
and do what we love,
Exactly. And we're not afraid of hard work and hustling, and it's just another level of like work, because it's very different from what we're used to. And
I'm trying to think of like how to word this.
No worries.
And that's why we're not live, because I get to edit it out when I don't know what I'm saying.
I know, all the huffing and puffing, and you can edit the cough and the baby crying.
Sorry.
That is brainstorm where we're taking this convo.
Sorry, I've just like been coughing on and off, so.
No,
We're dealing with a cough at the house.
I know. I guess that's the beauty of a podcast. That's the beauty of podcast.
Yeah, you're calling the shots, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, what? I don't have to have my makeup on or my hair done.
Exactly. We're just in our PJs, a total hot mess.
Yeah, exactly.
For real, I'm so lazy, you guys. You don't even want to see what I look like right now. Just sitting over here, almost 8 months pregnant, with a laptop on my belly.
Well, don't put the laptop too close to your belly, right?
Well, she'll be fine.
She's gonna have a flat head. It's all good.
I mean, I was born with a flat head anyway, so
she's just gonna come out.
It's genetic.
It is.
She'll just come out with an apple on the back of her head, but it's totally cool.
Yep. So, what do you think is like the biggest thing that you guys have learned from starting the company?
That's a really good question. I never really thought about that. I think for me, the biggest thing that I've learned is that I'm working with the right person.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah, I'm looking at you.
I'm like, okay, you better say that.
No, I think I'm working with the right person right now, and maybe when we get bigger, maybe not. No, I'm just kidding.
He'll replace you then.
Yeah, he'll replace me.
Yeah, I'll be like
you need to step down, son.
Yeah.
When we were at the pop-up, like, just because she's talkative, but she's not going to be the type of person where she's like...
Well, I'm not a salesperson.
Yeah, she's not naturally a salesperson.
Like, approach first.
Right. Yeah. Taking a lot of initiative, and I think just seeing her step up like that and having that confidence in the business, I'm just like, I have the right partner here. Really glad that we're working together towards the same goal. I think that's great. It's kind of romantic in a way, and for you guys, just to be able to have supportive husbands to just kind of live out your dream, whether it's forever or for a short term. It's just like a nice feeling to know that you have someone that supports you, and I think that's what's really great.
Right. Well, and to go off that, I think for me, what I guess the biggest thing I've learned is just to be confident and proud, because I think I'm a very, I guess, private person. I was very hesitant about just sharing this business venture with some of our friends, and after seeing it and looking at the product and everything, I was like, what, I'm really, really proud about like what we've done. Yeah, what we've accomplished. So just being able to share that with my friends and telling them, like, we started a new business, and just being comfortable with myself, and just having that confidence of like speaking out. And I guess my biggest fear in life is public speaking, so I'm trying to overcome that. So, and I think Eric has been very helpful in helping me do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, public speaking is hard.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
and it's just like to watch people just be so eloquent and just not skip a beat and just say it so eloquently, you just got to give them mad props. But I think what works in the end is just being true to yourself, and someone is going to identify with that. And I think that's what's great, about what we're doing. It's just that we're hitting a spot with certain people, and we're in line with them. And sometimes you don't have to do it only on sending your message. Doesn't always have to be through speaking. It can also just be through Instagram, or through a quote or something, and I think that's what's really cool about, the age that we live in. You can still communicate effectively in a very unique way.
Yeah, and then you could just do like us and just decide what you want to put out or not.
Yeah. We're like, you know what? We're not gonna post this after all. We're not.
Like we're like,
cool.
I'm like, I shouldn't have said any of that. I just cut it
Yeah.
all out.
Cut that out.
Cut it all out.
At least you have time to edit.
Yeah.
Do I? I'm seriously at my 9 to 5, and I'm sitting at my desk, like listening and editing at the same time that I'm doing other work. It's
Yeah.
it's crazy. I don't know what I'm doing. I gotta teach Vanessa because I told her once I have this baby, I'm not gonna be listening to us. I'm not gonna edit it.
It's gonna be hard. Those like sleepless nights again.
I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah. But you know what? It goes by so fast.
It does.
You know?
It does, and I hope you guys have help. I
Yeah.
hope you have
I do.
grandma, grandpa.
Yeah, I have help, and now especially since my first is getting older, more people are asking for her because she can do things on her own. So it's like, yes,
Yeah.
you can take her. But yeah, because when she was small, nobody wants to take a new baby that's gonna be crying all the time. So
Right.
Yeah.
she's old enough to go hang out.
It's kind of nice that she has a big sister because she'll take care of her and watch over her.
Yeah, I hope so. She seems that way. I was really reluctant because, like, I'm an older sister and I have a little brother, and we're not that close. And I always wished I was an only child. So,
Oh my gosh, she was so mean to him growing up.
You're like, just let me do my thing.
Yeah.
That's like her biggest fear right now is like Justine's gonna turn into a little Jessica when she was younger.
well, no, not
Has
even
it-
that.
Has it gotten better, your relationship, since you guys have
Not
grown up?
really. I mean,
Not really?
It's still kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
What's the
How
age
many
gap?
years apart are you guys?
3, so not much.
Oh. Yeah, that's all of our kids. They're all
Yeah.
3 years
No,
apart.
it's really funny though. That's like a really weird thing because it's old enough where it just gets really weird. You know what I mean? It's like if you're a senior and he's a freshman, then you're just like, you're really annoying and really weird. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just kind of like that weird dynamic.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're trying to say like we're equals, but then you're like, no, I'm the older sister. You gotta respect me.
Yeah,
I mean, I
and-
dealt with that.
and
I dealt with that a lot because I mean, I got 4 sisters and our family had 6 kids, so it was just it's a lot of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I was just really cool, and he was just really nerdy.
Oh, you're so cool.
So that's another reason.
I think Eric is like related to your
always got
brother.
kicked out.
He's all defending him.
I know. I was so cool, and he was
Yeah.
just so annoying.
He was. That's exactly how I mean, Vanessa knows. She was there.
Don't put that blame on me. I love Robert.
I didn't say you didn't, but I'm saying he was nerdy.
It's a choice. It's a choice. Whatever you want to do with it, you know. Like if you guys want to keep it awkward, keep it awkward. If you guys want to be cool, be cool. I don't know.
That's pretty funny.
There's a lot of other things that play into
Okay,
it.
we won't get into that.
I'm not
Another
gonna get into
podcast.
another
They
one.
function
Part
pretty
2.
well for everything in mind, but they do pretty well.
Yeah, but I just wanted to be the only one. I said, don't hang out with me. I want to just be me and my parents or me and my cousins. And
I'm pretty sure
don't.
that's what our son wants.
So I was thinking, when I'll just have one kid because they're gonna feel like I felt. And so when she was like, "No, I'm so lonely. I really want a sister," I was like, "Man, now I gotta have another kid. Like I don't have a choice."
Yeah.
I mean, every situation's different. You know? And the fact that you and your husband, or you guys might have different dynamics that you might bring out certain things to your kids. So that's really great.
Yeah,
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah, I hope so.
Fingers crossed.
Is it still your show? Like everyone kind of goes with what you say, like when it comes to like restaurant choices, and in my family when we talk about where we want to eat, it's always her choice. She makes it seem like it's everyone's choice, but it's really her choice. So is it kind of like
I learned that from my mama.
So is it kind of like you do? Is it a little bit like that still? Like with like a lot of things revolve on some of your choices and stuff like that.
I mean, I guess we have like the veto in the end where you're like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good idea. I think we should do this instead.
It's like I'm always like, I don't know where I want to go eat. Why don't you pick? And then he'll say something like, No, I don't want that. No,
yeah,
I don't
it's
want that.
always like that. Like it's shutting me down, and I'm like, I'm so
But
used
then,
to
but
it.
I'm like, but I don't know. You pick.
Yeah.
It's the most frustrating thing when you don't know where to eat and you're super hungry. Oh my
No,
god.
like you have this taste in your mouth that you want to like fulfill, but you don't know what it is. I'm like supposed to be like some freaking mind reader and trying to figure out what you want to eat.
I think even our kids know, like, okay, it's gonna take another hour.
Yeah.
For mom
Like,
to reply.
Yeah, we'll just go play outside for a little bit.
Well, that's the story of everyone's life. I think
Yeah.
nobody knows what
We're
to
not
eat.
alone.
No one knows.
And like right now, it's especially hard because I always want stuff that's fresh, like ceviche or something, and it's like I can't eat any of it.
Yeah, but you can't eat that.
and
Yeah.
Struggling eating warm foods, getting mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny. You always want things that you.
It's also different because you're 8 months pregnant, right? So it's a little. So what you want to eat really matters. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's very frustrating, and I just feel like I don't want to eat anything because nothing. I mean, I'm eating obviously, but I just feel like I don't want this because it's not cold. I have to have all my deli meats warm, and it's like this is stupid. It's summer.
Do you guys want to talk about some of the items that you guys have on your site for sale?
A lot of our stuff is going to be more like street wear inspired by college designs, and so a lot of it's just t-shirts and sweaters and long sleeves. It's going to have that college theme, and we're eventually going to add more color, increase the line, hopefully add other stuff like hats and athleisure. Most of it's just kind of like relaxed wear. You can dress it up, dress it down,
right,
or you can have that t-shirt for the bedroom, just whatever you want to do. That's what the apparel's about.
Yeah, everything looks super cozy.
Yeah, it's super chill, super cozy. Some people just like to customize it too. Like one of our followers, she like cropped it even shorter, and it's cute. You can do whatever you want with it, and you can wear it as a workout tee, or you can put on a blazer or a leather jacket on top, or tuck it in, tuck it out, knot it up, whatever you want to do with it, and it's still cool. It's still cool, and we love it. We love that people are sporting the gear and showing their quote unquote school spirit.
Can you tell that he grew up with 4 sisters?
Yeah, I used to have to, like, my sisters would get ready. I would somehow be the person where, like, my mom couldn't reach to the back to curl her hair, so I would be the guy that was curling her hair in the back. And that's what I had to do. I had to curl my mom's hair whenever we go to like all these like events and stuff like that. So it's just
cute.
It's
and I think you curled my mom's hair too sometimes.
Yeah. She knew that I knew how to do it, so I just did it.
And so now, do you do like your daughter's hair?
Oh, he's way better at it than me.
Oh my god, dude, same thing.
I'm just
I'm trying to get the like nice line.
Yeah, I was like, it's fine.
Nice and tight.
It's fine. We gotta go. Hurry it up.
She's just like, whatever.
You could always tell when I've had Justine because she just has a top knot.
Yeah.
She's fine.
I know.
Today.
Yeah. My daughter's hair is like all messy. I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's tied up. It's
Dude,
fine.
but Vanessa's girls, their hair is always like perfect and smooth. I don't know how
I need to go to.
Not when they're with their dad.
I need to get lessons from you then.
But you know what? Her girls slept over my house this weekend, and their hair is way easier to manage. Well, I really love what you guys are doing. I think it's so great to celebrate the different kind of moms and finding your little niche in the whole group of things, because we're still struggling trying to find the people that are our favorites.
I think that's the thing, is that it's a journey, but you just gotta have to remember that throughout the journey, you gotta have to just really appreciate what you have and what you're working for, and some of the milestones that you've gone through, and
Yeah, we have to keep reminding ourselves.
We have to keep reminding ourselves too,
Yeah,
and we're not
sometimes,
perfect.
like, we get impatient. It's like, you know what, we should be proud that we've actually come this far.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then like also being able to recognize when things are changing and you're ready to shift toward a new direction or whatever it is that you want to do. Like you guys are saying, you're starting to think about expanding or different colorways and different styles. And I mean, you'll get there when you're ready. But right now, I mean, you guys have a really good, selection of different things for different ladies.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. And we'd love to send you some gear.
Yeah.
Anything. We'd love to just send you some stuff and just wear it home, go to sleep with it, whatever you want to do with it.
Wear it while you're on the podcast.
Yeah. And I mean, and like I know I was saying like I'll never fit like a crop top, but I mean I could always wear one and a tank top under. It'll be easy to breastfeed.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
There it is. That way I don't have to like deal with all this fabric everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. At least like, for us, we're always dressing in t-shirts, sweats, pants, like jeans, so we wanted to have that comfort in mind. Because usually people, when they think of the name MILF, like, oh, what is this? Scandalous, kind of like apparel. But, it's really just t-shirts
it's
and,
really weird because like it's casual, but it's still kind of classy. You know what I mean? It's a little classy. And so we're really trying to, be careful with that and try to make people understand what we're about, with images that we shot and stuff. So
yeah,
I think we were successful with it.
So how are you doing it like with this new baby too? You guys are crazy.
Oh, I know, right? I think definitely, with the help of family, my aunt, who's like my second mom, she actually moved in with us to help with the baby. And then also my sister, she's next door if we ever really need anything. And Eric's mom has been helpful too. So it's really just having that family around, having that support. I think that we wouldn't be able to do anything without them.
And sometimes like we're doing work late at night too, 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever we got to do so that we're ready for the following day. Then that's what we got to do.
Yeah, you have to. Is there anything else that you guys feel like we haven't touched on that you wanted to add?
Yeah, well, I just want to say, thank you, ladies, for definitely, taking the time and listening to our story, and we really appreciate it and the support that you have given us. So
thank you for coming on and sharing it
and supporting us. It was so sweet of you to say you listen to us and follow our Disney adventures that have been cut short.
Oh yes, we love that.
Yeah, my son's all about Disney. So
is he?
Yes,
so
interesting.
He wants to be an Imagineer and stuff.
Oh.
So
yeah,
sweet.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool just to see you guys with your little adventures.
That we've cut short because we canceled our passes because we can't afford it.
Because we're broke.
Man, how dare they up the prices like that? That was just
seriously.
Weird.
I would have been a lifetime holder. Those jerks.
It's all good. Something to work towards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then, will you guys tell our listeners everywhere that they could find you? Like your website, your Instagram. Do you have a Facebook group?
So our website is shopmilf.com, and our Instagram and Facebook is
MILF University.
At MILF University, yeah. So follow, comment, share.
All the above.
Yeah.
Yes. Whatever love you want to share, we're all about that. So it's all good.
All right. We really do appreciate you guys reaching out, and I had a lot of fun on this podcast. You guys are hilarious.
I know, you guys are super cute.
I know.
Yeah, we really enjoy talking to you ladies too, and hopefully we can meet up at Disney.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Oh, turkey leg.
Yes, exactly.
No,
Kids.
I know.
That'll be fun.
And good luck with your little one that's on the way.
Thank you.
Do you have a name?
I'm working on it still.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It is hard.
It's all. So how we came up with ours is that you have to yell the name over and over again. And if you're cool with it, then that's the name.
Because, you know, you're always yelling at your kids, so it's like, you got to be okay with that name.
You're like, so-and-so and so-and-so, get over here. And you're like, okay, I'm okay
I can
with
live with that.
I can
This
live
is
with
it.
that.
It's hard to come up with something like that both of us agree on. I'm like, I love these names together. And he's just like, I guess. And I'm like, no, you gotta love it too. So it's a work in progress. But all right, you guys, thank you again.
Okay, well, thank you,
you.
ladies.
I really appreciate it. Thanks for
You
the
guys
opportunity.
take care of yourselves and keep doing what you're doing.
And we will
thank you, you too.
we'll stay connected. So we have you on
Yes.
Instagram now. We have your email. And we'll let you know as soon as this episode's ready to be put out, because we're kind of trying to back up a couple episodes, because I don't know how long I'm going to be recording for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta stash them.
No, you gotta do one while you're pushing your baby.
Oh, my
No,
God.
I'm just kidding.
Totally.
That is the
from the
podcast.
delivery room.
Live.
Vanessa, hold my mic.
Now push.
Oh.
No, that's a live feed.
Yes, that will be a good one.
Nobody is going to be there for
Get
that.
out.
Oh, horrible.
Anyways, no, we do appreciate it.
Thank you, ladies.
you.
Best of
Thank you.
luck.
Thanks, Eric.
All right,
Thanks, Nancy.
same to you. Thank you, guys. You have a good night.
They were super sweet.
They were so cute.
That's so funny that they were talking about finding like cheesy brands, and I was just talking to you about feeling how things are super cheesy being pregnant.
Super cheesy. You're feeling extra corny these days?
Oh my gosh, yes. So I was talking to the photographer that's supposed to be doing my maternity shoot, and she's asking what I want to see, told me to look on Pinterest, and I'm just like, I hate everything. Everybody sucks. This is lame. But it's just like, I don't want to go to the beach and take pictures. I don't want to go on a hike and have whatever. But when I look at people's photos, they're all super beautiful, and I don't know why I don't want to do it for myself. I just feel like a weirdo.
Well, it just doesn't match your little personality right now, you know?
Yeah,
So you'll find what fits for you.
I know. But you were saying too that when you were pregnant, you felt like you didn't want to do stuff and you regretted it after?
Yes, definitely. I think mainly because I got Bell's palsy when I was pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
So that just basically, I was just like, this is it. Like, I am not taking photos from this point on. I'm going to hide my face for the rest of my life. I look back and I think I even listened to our episode I've been listening to all of our episodes actually every day. And I just love that we do this because I can always listen back on how I was feeling and all of our experiences that I've gone through. And I remember that, like just when Luna was a baby, I didn't want to take any pictures with her. And I'm just like, I regret that now. So
I know.
don't miss your window.
I know. And I can't believe how fast time is going.
It is so fast.
When I look at my camera roll, like I have a bunch of pictures of Justine and Ernie, and I'm like, dude, I have no photos of myself. I've been really, I don't know, not taking pictures of pregnancy, but I think
yeah.
I mean, it's because I'm a lot busier than I was when I was pregnant with Justine. Like I didn't have her, first of all. I didn't have any kids yet, so I had time to like get ready and, just sit down and take pictures of myself, be conceited. Now I'm like, I need to do something about my hair, and I'm not in the mood. I'm not going to do my makeup. I'm just going to play, with my kid, go to work, and yeah, I don't know. I don't have time to sit and take cute pictures anymore.
Yeah.
Without feeling like an idiot.
And I know I had this conversation with you like back in April. I was like, we left that event and I was like kind of tipsy and I was like, what's wrong with you? Like this pregnancy, you have not been taking photos. Like give me your phone. I'm going to take a picture of you in front of this cute ass wall because I haven't seen you post any like baby bump pictures,
I know. And I don't know if it's before the podcast. I used to post on Instagram all the time because I think, that was just what I shared of myself. And now that we do the podcast, I share so much of what's going on in my life personally that when it comes to social media, I kind of don't really touch it anymore. Like, I feel like I put enough of myself out there for people to hear that, I don't know. I don't have any photos to share.
Yeah.
Like, you guys have enough of me.
We'll start taking more, and we'll make sure of it. I know. I don't even think I've taken a picture with you. Like, I guess we have, but not that many.
Only at events when I have makeup on. Anywho, that was a pretty sweet episode. I really liked them.
Yeah, they're super cute, and I really love what they're all about and their little story. It's very cute. They're very supportive of each other.
Super sweet. Reminds me of us.
Oh, lovebirds. My partner in crime.
Forever and ever. We got a lot of planning to do for you.
We have a lot of planning to do for everything in life, and it's like seriously flying by. I remember like, oh my gosh. And then I looked at the calendar like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, your baby is coming. Like, I can't freaking believe it. Like, I feel like we just found out you were pregnant literally yesterday, and bam, she's going to be here before we know it. So, and who knows, she might even be here when you guys hear this episode.
I know, totally. We'll see when these ones get put out. But we have your vow renewal to plan.
Yes.
I'm excited to go look at dresses and stuff.
I know. That's my favorite part of this whole thing.
Dressing super fancy, taking beautiful photos.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole reason why we're doing it all over again, because we didn't get to do any of that. You know, I was pregnant. We just ran away and got married. And we had this whole plan to do this big thing and include everybody. I asked people to be in my wedding, and then I just ran away and got married with only the people that were important to me at the time. So we're gonna redo it.
Yeah, because I didn't get that memo. I got to see it on Facebook, and I was like, what the hell?
I know. And I felt really bad about that. And it's just a lot of things of why we need to do it the right way, the way that we've always planned to do it. So we're going to attempt it. We'll see how it goes.
It'll be good. I'm super stoked for it.
I know. We'll see. I am just worried because of course, we decided to do this super last minute. So luckily, we've already found our locations, and I'm not going to it's going to be, my most important thing is like our vows to each other and just doing that. Like, I don't even care if no one's there at all. Like, that's the most important thing to me. And just us being able to take some beautiful pictures, and that's it. Like, that's all it is. So we'll see if we get it.
Yes, you will. Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks for joining us on this episode of the Moody Mommies.
Yeah. Stay moody.
Say Moody Mommies. Moody Mommies. Moody Mommies podcast.